Hello, my audience. I'm reviewing the Flash movie with Ezra Miller. I give it a 7 points out of 10. Slightly above mediocre. Forgettable mess. Ezra Miller's acting is awkward as fuck, but Keaton steals the show and the only redeeming character that's relatable next to Supergirl, Kal-El. Or Kara. Those are the only two characters that are cool in the movie, feel iconic and memorable. Everyone else feels like they're fucked. The characters. More than they got fucked in Justice League, the director's cut by director Josh Whedon. The 2017 movie, before Snyder came out, was his director's cut. I like Justice League 2017 more than this movie. I'm starting to feel like this was a mistake to talk about because I'm running out of things to say. Because how forgettable this movie was. And Chopper's bad ideas. Like, I remember, like, one of the babies had to be in an explosion, and Ezra's flash was great. Just put in a microwave, not thinking it would fry the baby. Was from the thinking it was shielding baby from the explosion, but surprise, it works. Because reality doesn't make sense in this world. This is obviously taking inspiration from Silver Age Flash comics, where Barry made his debut as the Flash. This is nonsense cartoon violence. Saturday morning violence how it's shot and Speed Force and shit. Even though it's more faithful than the TV shows, The Flash, this is actually sadly what I'm trying to say. This is actually the most faithful Flash adaptation live action, more than the CW show or the 90s season 1 show of The Flash. But that doesn't mean it's a good thing. See, I think the CW in the 90s show Flash are better quality entertainment because it knew not to just take everything from the source material and with this world logic and Flash being overpowered constantly and shit and eating calories and having a calorie deficit and the Speed Force, how it's shot and how it works functionally with the multiverse logic, connecting other Earths of the multiverse. So all of that is there from that Silver Age Flash could do. So technically, this is actually the most faithful adaptation of Barry Allen's Flash from the Silver Age. But why is the show so much better than the movie and more loved and well received? The CW Rival reboot show in the 90s original show that was ran for one season. Well, the CW show ran for 6 or 7 seasons total, around that number, you know? So that's the one with Grant Gustin, the actor that plays Barry in the CW show Flash, that ran for multiple seasons. I think I know why. Because the 90s Flash show and the CW Flash show are very similar ideas in terms of how they execute style and ideas was from the source material, where how doing nods was the source material, but not going all the way to the source material's tone. Because Silver Age Flash is a goofy character and the most most blandest white bread personality in the source material that's also incredibly overpowered. More than Superman, usually, at least in the Silver Age. And when it comes to like multiverse power level, Superman's like the strongest one, and true, Superman's more powerful, and in the Earth he's in, for each Superman's usually the most powerful being, and they own Earth. But Flash can always no. You normally each Flash can see the multiverse and access other Earths through the Speed Force. There's some of the live action Flash have access to, and the comic book version of Flash from the source material. And I think the pros and the cons about this movie is that this uses the much meat that they can do with the multiverse in this one movie, instead of telling a story and giving his Earth, instead of following like Barry's own Earth and progressing him as a character or giving him some kind of a character depth. Because the Barry that gets the character depth is the younger counterpart played by Ezra Miller, that gets more of a character arc and goes through changes, and from being a selfish prick, annoying cunt, to a more selfless, wanting to save everyone hero. Once he finds out his mother dies from the old Barry timeline that created Flashpoint in this time paradox. So younger Barry's more compelling than our Barry. That's the main observer of the show movie. For this movie, The Flash. I think the reason why the Flash shows are better than the movie is because it was smart enough to make Barry relatable and iconic and interesting and memorable, and kind of a selfless hero. Write him as an all-around good two shoes, Barry, but focus on him, give him drama and a character story for something for him to punch and a dilemma for him to overcome. I think the shows did that much better than this movie ever did, showing layers to Barry's character. This shows a better job showing the visuals of Barry's powers, but not really gives him layers of character. If it gets to do that part. So I give this 7 points out of 10 for that reason. That's my review on The Flash. Was Ezra Miller playing two Ezra Miller Flashes. And starring Michael Keaton. And Supergirl before James Gunn rebooted with a different Supergirl actress. His universe. So that's my review on The Flash. Goodbye. Subscribe to my content. Like this video. My name is Jake Allen Graham. Goodbye.